Out of the Wings they hold a festival every year. This year is the 8th festival at the Omnibus Theatre, and it's all about Spanish and Portuguese writing, new translations. Time now for theatre, and what's more, it's new theatre coming to the Omnibus this coming week. It's the Out of the Wings Festival, and we're on to the 8th year. This is William Gregory and Gigi Guizado. You're very welcome. Your first time here.
Oh, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Well, you're here today with your Out of the Wings Festival hat on. William, as it's been a couple of years, just remind us what Out of the Wings is all about.
Sure, absolutely. Well, Out of the Wings, you're right, it's our 8th annual festival of plays from Spain, Portugal and Latin America. It's our 5th time at Omnibus Theatre. We're so happy to be back at Omnibus. We love it there. It's such a welcoming venue. It really feels like a home from home, and we're just so glad to be back there again this summer. We present from Tuesday to Saturday, the 16th to the 20th of July. Every night you can see a rehearsed reading of a different play from the Spanish and Portuguese speaking world, all translated into English, all being presented in the UK for the first time ever. We've got work from Argentina, Chile, Brazil and Spain, and for the first time ever in our work, which is really exciting, Ecuador and El Salvador. There's something different every night. As usual, it's 5 completely different nights. Every night is completely giving you something fresh and new that has nothing to do with the night before or the night that comes next, and we just love it. We have a great time every year, and we're really excited to share all of this international work with audiences here in London.
And you have other activities around the plays as well, don't you?
That's right. So anyone who's really interested in having a deep dive into the whole world of translation and international theatre collaboration is really welcome to join us either on Tuesday, when we're going to be at King's College London near Waterloo Station. All day we're going to be having what we call the Out of the Wings Forum, which is a great day of discussion and panel conversations and some readings, where everyone who's interested in international theatre in any respect whatsoever is really welcome to come along and join us. One of the events there, actually led by the fantastic John Farndon, is going to be a session where we're going to be reading some new plays from Ukraine that were written since the Russian invasion, that John has been working as a translator on in a really important project to get that work out into the world. So we're really honoured and excited to have John there on Tuesday. But there's loads of other activities going on that day too, again representing theatre from all around the world. And then on the last day of the festival at Omnibus Theatre in the afternoon, we're running a free theatre translation workshop. And again, anyone who's interested in translating theatre, maybe you've never tried it before, and it's something completely new to you, or maybe it's something that you are already doing and you want to maybe test something out on a group, all of those people are welcome. It's a free workshop. It's going to be run by myself and colleagues from Out of the Wings. And you can find information about that and the forum and all the readings at our website, ootwfestival.com.
Okay, Gigi, let's tease them, shall we? We start on Tuesday with Volcano of the Witches. What's that all about?
Well, Volcano of the Witches is written, it comes to us from Argentina, written by Victor Malagrino and translated by Jessica Hooper and Elizabeth Rabel. And it is set on an island.
It is. It's set on the island of Puerto Sirena, which is a fictional island in Argentina. And the play is about a young woman who grew up on that island and who is now a journalist working in the big city. And she returns to the island because she's been sent by her editor to try and find stories about far-flung communities. But little does she know that she's actually about to discover some much darker history about the island, about her family history, and about all sorts of things that went on there in the past. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but it's a great thriller. It's been a huge success in Argentina. It's translated by 2 young translators who are so excited. This is their first translation, and we're really excited to bring their work to the festival. And it's just such an exciting way to start the week, I think, with one of those thrillers that really get under your skin, and a great mystery with a great and quite explosive ending. But I'm going to stop there.
And Gigi, on the 17th, we have Stays of Vegetation, which sounds very strange.
Oh, it does, but it's so intriguing and delightful. This is the one that I'm really looking forward to. This is a monodrama. It comes to us from Chile, written by Manuela Infante and Marcela Salinas. It's been co-translated by Camila Imay Gonzalez and Lucy Phelps, who will also direct and perform this, respectively. It's based on the revolutionary thinking of plant philosophers, Michael Marder and plant neurobiologist Stefano Mancuso, and it explores these new concepts of plant intelligence, plant soul, plant communication. So if we can accept that plants think and feel and exist on these other levels, what impact does that have on us as human beings? So I'm thoroughly intrigued by this concept, and Lucy Phelps is an electric actress on stage. Camila is a dynamite director, and I can't wait to see what happens.
I think we've got as far as Thursday, On the Other Side of the Sea. What's that all about?
Well, we do, yes. Well, On the Other Side of the Sea, this is one of our sort of premier countries. So it's a play from El Salvador. We're really excited to have El Salvador represented this year in 8 festivals. We've never had El Salvador before, so it's so exciting to have this play by Jorgelina Cerritos, and it's translated by Margaret Stanton and Anna Donko, directed by Giovanna Koyama. And this is a play which I think speaks very much to our moment. It's a play about a man who is washed up on a beach, and no sooner does he get washed up on the beach than he is faced by a bureaucrat sitting at a desk demanding that he prove his identity. And the play is about these questions of who has the right to travel, who has the right to be in what place, when, and who defines who we are. Do we need a piece of paper to define who we are? Can we have our identity without bureaucracy and government structures and the rest of society telling us who we are? Why do we have to prove who we are? Why don't people just believe us when we talk about ourselves and our desire to live our lives and to be wherever we want to be in the world? So it's about that, but it's also, listening to Jorgelina talk about the play, it's also about loneliness. It's based on a personal experience of hers, of a time that she felt very isolated and very lonely. And so it's also about loneliness and connection. So these two individuals who in many respects are on opposite sides of the fence in terms of the bureaucrat representing authority and that sort of, I guess, oppressive nature of people who control movement, and then the fisherman who lives his life out on the ocean and who spends a lot of time on his own as well, trying to find himself and find a way to live. Through their conversation and engagement, they start to connect. They start to form a little bit of a human connection. They start to understand each other a little bit more. And as Jorgelina says, although by the end of the play, it's not as though they've become best friends. It's not as though they're going to walk together hand in hand off into the sunset. They go their separate ways at the end, but by the end of the play, we've been on this journey with them where they've grown a little bit closer to each other, and they've learned a little bit more about each other's situations and created that bond. And I think in these times, holding on to that idea is a really, really important thing to do. So,
I was going to say, it sounds very topical.
Absolutely.
Some of the themes covered there.
Yeah. And it's already had a really successful run in the US, actually. A theatre called the Cherry Arts in New York State did a production of this show last year, I believe. No, it was a few years ago now, actually. And so it's really exciting to have it in the United Kingdom for the first time. So on Friday the 19th, we've got a bit of a double bill, because we have one short play and one play that ironically is so long that we couldn't do all of it. So we've just got a little extract from it. And these are two plays, one from Brazil, which we're delighted to have Brazil back. We've had Brazil in the festival many times, and also one from Ecuador, which again is one of the times when we've got a country for the very first time. So I'll jump in first with Tropical Pharaoh by Rafael Cristiano, translated by Almiro Andrade and directed by Gael Lecornec. This is a play that imagines, believe it or not, Tutankhamun resurrecting in contemporary Brazil. and discovering the Brazil of today and experiencing it through the lens of ancient Egypt. And the reason we put this play with The Treasure of the Yanganates is because these are two stories that explore those ideas of Latin America, South America, and its ancient connections with earlier societies, indigenous societies and cultures in Latin America, but also with the African continent. So Tropical Pharaoh is this festive, exciting discovery of the connections between ancient Egypt and Brazil. And then we have The Treasure of the Yanganates, which Gigi's going to tell you about.
I am so excited about that we're able to present an extract from The Treasure of the Yanganates. It is from Ecuador, as you've said. It's by Paul Puma, translated by Jonathan Simpkins, directed by Almiro Andrade. And the indigenous representation of this play is what excites me so much. It's set in a cavern beneath the Yaganantes Mountains of Ecuador, where Inca ruler, I hope I say this right, Rumin Yahweh and his 3 generals are suspended in a fugue state after the defeat and death at the hand of the conquistadors. And the generals remember who they are when they walked on earth, but Rumin Yahweh has forgotten even the basic facts of his own life. So hearing him tell his story and his generals tell their story from their perspective, pre-colonial, is very, very exciting to see on stage. And I'm so proud that we're able to present that.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, as we know, Latin America, the whole of the American continent, had such rich and important and powerful cultures and societies before the conquistadors, the Spanish, arrived, and before the Portuguese arrived, before the British arrived, of course, and to honour and represent indigenous stories in the festival is something that we've aspired to do throughout, and it's great to have plays like this sent to us, because we do a public call out for plays, and The Treasure of the Yanganates was one of these plays that we didn't know before. The translator Jonathan Simpkins sent it in to us, and we were so delighted that it landed on our laps, really. And so yeah, that's Friday the 19th. Fantastic double bill of plays from Ecuador and Brazil.
Gigi, Sylvia Kay's Last Stand, what's that all about?
Oh, yes. Well, that one is coming up on July 20th. It's written by Laura Aparicio from Spain, and it's translated by Kate Eaton. Marian Vargas will direct it for us, and this is like a play you will never see elsewhere. It's an epidemic of equine mutations divides the world's population into humans and hybrids. And as a tsunami of fascism advances around the globe, a woman runs a circus on the outskirts of the city, and while a father tries to sacrifice his son to create a myth, and a son born through surrogacy decides to look for his mother.
And that's only the first 5 minutes. This is a play, as Gigi says, you ain't never seen anything like this before. One of the great exciting things about working on theatre and translation, and why we at Out of the Wings talk so much about the importance of audiences here in London having access to stories from around the world, because here in the UK, in London, we have loads of amazing British writers, and we have access to loads of amazing United States writers as well. But if you look at what's on in the theatre in London at any given time, there ain't a lot that's actually originally written in a language other than English and has come from another country other than the US or the UK or maybe Ireland. And one thing that's so exciting is that when you start to discover plays that come from different parts of the world, you get plays like Sylvia Kay's Last Stand, which can only have been written by Laura Aparicio and only have been written in Spain. This is a wild play. It's got horses, it's got humans, it's got fascism, it's got circuses, it's got barbers, it's got fortune tellers,
yes.
It's got card and all in this sort of wild and yet deeply political play that again is talking about the times we're living in. The far right in Europe on the advance, people being divided, people being frightened, people wondering how to find a way through this. And so we're so excited to have this, and it's on the very last night of the festival, and wow, what a way to finish. So
absolutely. I also want to add that it won the 4th annual Spanish Society of Authors Ana Diosdado Theater Award.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
This is an excellent play. It's hard to describe. You just must come see it.
As always, a wide and varied programme. Gigi and William, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just remind us where we can find out more information.
Absolutely. So to find information about everything we've talked about, the best place to go to is our website, ootwfestival.com. You can also find us on social media. We're on X as Out of the Wings, and we're on Instagram as Out of the Wings Collective. Also, the Omnibus Theatre website, of course, has the lineup of the play readings, and that's the place that you can go and book.
We're on Facebook as well.
We are on Facebook.
They're everywhere. They're across the socials.
And
Out of the Wings on Facebook, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And on LinkedIn. If anyone wants to connect with us professionally, we're also on LinkedIn.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. It's been great to be here.